Hopefully they don't close soon. Can't do that while I'm walking. That's a Blue Angels A-Force Skyhawk. We're out here waiting for a plane to take off. This is a McDonnell Douglas F-15 Eagle. Top speed 1,600 miles per hour. 8 air-to-air missiles. Not gonna look at all that stuff. There it is. Pretty fast jet too. Another one over there, same thing. And we have what looks like F-18 Hornets getting ready to take off. But we're not going to wait for them because we want to see the museum. When are you guys taking off about?
We'll start up here in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh no, the parachute ejections off part.
You can see him getting in the thing. flight in order of how it happened, I guess, in the museum. The Wright Flyer. This is a Curtiss JN4D Jenny. There's the engine to it, the radiator and everything. Inch planer. Okay, how they're building them. First Boeing plane in 1916. (1927). Curtiss Wright Company. Another shot of their assembly line. Can't see because of the windows, but that's okay. More models here. There's a prototype of the flying wing. There's a 300 horse Packard engine. And there's a Navy dirigible. Boeing 247 competed with the Douglas DC-2, which of course later on became the DC-3. Early shot of LaGuardia Airport. Boeing B-17. Boeing Plant 2 in 1937. There's the B-17. Pretty neat looking museum. This is the Boeing barn, I think the guy called it, where Boeing originally started building planes. There's a glider up there. Here's where they made plans and blueprints and things. Designing airplanes. Here's some actual blueprints of a B-17 panel there. You probably can't see because of the glare. The shot of this very barn from 1916 to 18 was the first place that Boeing built planes, right here. The red barn. There it is. This is well, there's the Plant 1, Boeing Plant 1 model. This is a Curtiss Robin. His dreams of space flight, early rockets, and plans. That big goon will get out of the way. Oh, that's Mark. American rocketry. That's Goddard right there. Early rockets. Oberth Model B rocket. Looks kind of like a V2. Rocket societies. There's the German society. And the Russian society had a rocket too back then. Now from the Boeing barn, we go into the main part of the museum here. Dream of Flight. Very nice, spacious structure. Here's a scaled-down model of the whole museum, I guess. Inertial upper stage. A large rocket of some type. Made by Boeing for the USAF. Oh, nice. Look at this. There's a DC-3 up there. Oh, there's a Corsair back there. I'll go over there and get a close-up of that. And an SR-71 Blackbird. World's fastest airplane right there. Over the Pacific. Different construction techniques. Oh, here's a bunch of airplanes. Little models. Some of the flying boats. Lighter up there. Biplane, seaplane. It says Spirit of Ryan on the other side of it. I guess it's like the Spirit of St. Louis. Similar to it anyway. Ryan M1, that's what it is. Okay. This camera is on its last leg. It just did 3 hiccups in a row and wiped out a bunch of stuff. So I'm forced to keep it on until the battery goes down, which won't be very long now. So this is going to be a real fast tour. That's a neat looking plane, Boeing Air Transport. It's a tri-motor. I don't know if it's... Anyway. DC-3 or DC-2. Looks like a T-33 up there. Taylor Craft. I mean Stearman. It's a Stearman. And that, of course, is Corsair. A Beech 18. The Beech 18 is right there, of course. That's a Stinson Reliant. Dornier DO-27. Oh, there's a Lockheed F-104C. Some of these, of course, are full scale and some, of course, are not. This is one that Jaeger tried to take up real high and nearly killed himself in doing so. And there's a Mercury capsule. You can see the retro pack on the back there that failed on John Glenn, where the straps holding it did. And here's the tail end of the SR-71. I'll try and get another shot up higher if I can. Here's the SR-71, which would go up to 100,000 feet at between 3 and 5 times the speed of sound. Look at the size of each of those engines. There's 2 of them. How long it is. Quite an achievement. It's made by Lockheed. Quite a fabulous airplane. Of course, it's retired now. Of course, it did spy and reconnaissance type thing.
Small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
I remember that.
We're getting a picture on the TV. There's a great deal of contrast there. And
This is
currently it's upside down on our
hollow
monitor, but we can make out a fair amount of detail.
display.
Go. Econ. Launch command, go.
It's a Saturn V. Ice is from the fuel. It's so cold inside that thing.
It feels just like it sounds.
I got a pitch and a roll program, and this baby is really going.
Roger that. Stand by for mode 1 Bravo. 1 Bravo.
That's a lovely lift off. That's not bad at all.
So momentary, just this free elation, complete release of tensions. To feel all that power precisely directed, know that we're on course, first of all, for Earth orbit, and then precisely inserted onto the right orbit, right trajectory for rendezvous with the moon.
All of Houston, you're right smack dab on the trajectory. Your IU's doing a beautiful job.
I got a yaw program.
This beauty.
Here you are going along with the G on you. It's up to about 4 Gs, but you're psyched up, good shape and all that. Even lifting your arm to move switches, no problem.
You are go for staging.
Here you are coming up on staging, and when staging happens, it's like, man.
We got skirt them. And that's for ignition, Houston. Ignition confirmed. Thrust is go. Roger. Trajectory guidance and CMC are all go. Houston, through the Canaries. How do you read? You're loud and clear, Houston, on the Canaries. Boy, it's just beautiful up here. Looking out the window, it's just really fantastic. Apollo Control.
That's their
Our present altitude is now
burn
about
toward the moon.
3,000.
That is a real moon rock. 3.3 billion years old, it says on there. Apollo 12 lunar rock sample. A shot of this Apollo mock-up. It's a training capsule. Look at all the dials and stuff just on the door. Look at all the switches and things inside there. Quite a small space to spend a long time going out to the moon and back. And it all began with that Sputnik right there. It only weighed 184 pounds. And there's Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space, the Soviet. This is a Soviet spacecraft that they gave to the... Not a battery on that Soviet spacecraft, but that's all it was. That's a B-29. Of course, that's the type of plane that dropped the A-bomb on Japan. And we've been asked to leave the museum because the place is closed. But all in all, it was well worth it. A bit of Tacoma there. I forgot to do the rest of his house. In here is the bathroom. And here's Mark's computer room and kind of a library. Here's her beautiful bedroom. I think you can see that. Isn't that looking nice? Very nice. And here's the room I stayed in. Very nice house. And I'm on my way out. Up north to Vancouver. On my way to Butchart Gardens. It's very pretty and scenic out here. Butchart Gardens. Very pretty along here. That's the Butchart home there. And the place smells just beautiful. This is the Sunken Gardens. It was at one time Mr. Butchart's cement manufacturing area. It was a quarry.
Ja, ik ben helemaal daarin. Ja, een andere plaats. Oh, hier. Oh, ja.
In 1964, the Ross Fountain was created to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Butchart Gardens. The quarry walls have been deliberately left wild. This is the lawn garden. There are geese down there. Heading toward the Japanese garden now. Some of the most most unusual flowers in the world are here. Like that one. And that one. Most beautiful flowers I've ever seen as we walk along here. Excuse me. Do a little mackerel in some of these. This is the rose garden. Lots of beautiful roses, of course. And it smells just beautiful. I have to use all the manual stuff because the batteries are low. That's a beautiful rose. And from the rose garden we go into the Japanese garden. This is the Fountain of the Three Sturgeons, which was cast in Florence, Italy. An overall view, there's the rose gardens back there. That's where I just was there. And that's the back side of the Butchart house. And the entrance to Japanese gardens. Pagoda reflection. That's called a boar scarab. fills up with water and then makes that noise. Here's an interesting view. This is called the Star Pond. It's shaped like a star, of course. This is the backside of the Butchart residence and the Italian garden. It was at one time a tennis court. Here's a view from the other side. And one of the residents. Porcellino or Little Pig, and it's a copy of one that's in Florence, Italy. Allegedly, rubbing the nose brings good luck, so you can see it's been well polished. And we're here at the very front of the estate. Very beautiful indeed. There's other little statues here too. There's a bronze horse and a bronze donkey with a little guy riding on top. This is a conservatory. Restaurant too. New final view as I depart the Butchart Gardens. Well worth it. It cost
it's easier when a bunch and everybody does a little bit.
$9 American or 10 something Canadian. I should mention the weather's been excellent on this trip so far. It's actually hot. It must be 80, 85, now closer to 90 degrees today. Excellent weather the whole trip. And here's the entranceway on the way out. Very beautiful place. Various flags. Very beautiful, well worth it. You can see even the grounds leading up to the place are beautiful. Lots of flowers and things. Well, the gasoline is sold here by the liter. That's 52.9 Canadian cents per liter. The road signs are in kilometers per hour. I may have mentioned that, I don't remember, but there it is. On my way to the Vancouver ferry. Now that's Sydney off to the right there, a little town. And I'm heading north to Swartz Bay to catch the ferry. Beautiful out here, very beautiful. Well, I'll be on the 7 o'clock ferry, which is fine. I'll get a nice sunset. You can see how it works there. The car is just going down there. I'm going to be on the newest one they've got. You can even plug a computer into it and do work. There's more of the BC Islands out that way. And here it comes. This is supposed to be the new modern one. Beautiful shot out there. Various Canadian islands. Of British Columbia. Looks pretty close up there too. There's a beautiful mountain out there. I don't know which one it is. Got a lot of cars. Look at them all. 4 of how many, I wonder? It's supposed to be a super carrier. On deck number 6, you can see there's another one above me. It's a 7-deck ship. Very long, beautiful ship. Just about ready to get underway. A bow thruster that pushes us away. As we head out.
Comunque non la mossa perché scusa, se no la corda si muoverebbe un po'.
Our crews are extremely proud of the Spirit and hope passengers will share that pride as they get acquainted with the many features that
That's what you call a Canadian sunset. Well, I'm on my way back down to Uncle Donald's now. Had a great time here. Dave took me to a football game. First time I'd ever been to a professional football game. The Seattle Seahawks versus the LA Rams. And I thought it was interesting just being there. And that was a lot of fun. And then the day before that, when we saw the Space Needle, after that we went to the IMAX theater and saw a great, excellent show called Titanica, where they've got all that excellent underwater film from those 2 submergible submarine type things, bathyscaphs or whatever they are, and it was really beautiful. Dave was telling me they just reopened the other side of that floating bridge over there. In fact, we were one of the first few thousand people across yesterday when they opened it. Saying goodbye to the Seattle area. Very, very nice. Weather was excellent. Weather on this whole trip has been excellent. Right in the 80s. Lows in the mid-50s. Well, there's Boeing Field over there. Very I stopped and got gas here, and just a few miles south of Seattle, or of Tacoma. I saw that neat-looking F-101 Voodoo, so I had to go in here and take a shot of it. This is the Washington National Guard base. Got a tank over there too. And there's Mount Rainier in the distance. Not going to go up there today, but just thought I'd take a quick shot of it. Seattle State Capitol right there. Or rather, Seattle, I mean the Washington State Capitol. Olympia. This must be a popular area for gliding. You can see the glider being towed there. You can see that Washington has a nuclear power plant similar to the Babcock and Wilcox design in Sacramento. That's actually part of the Columbia River there. I believe it is a little channel of it. So we got a train up there. It's keeping pretty good pace. Going along about 65. Now this is the Columbia River Gorge Highway. That's Mount Hood in the distance. And this parallels the Columbia River on the Washington side. Next stop is Bonneville Dams and the locks. The Columbia River down there. Get a better shot of it a little later, probably. Let's see. There's a good shot of some river. There's a road I just came in on, and you can see this is the Columbia River Gorge. It's beautiful. Island out there, and very nice looking home right down there. Be a lovely place to live. Must be getting pretty close to Bonneville Dam. You can see all those power lines carrying the electricity out of there. The ridge there. There. Bonneville Dam is back that way. This is the Bridge of the Gods and Cascade Locks. It's supposed to be right near here. Welcome to Oregon, it says. Mount Hood National Forest. There's the bridge I just crossed. That sound you're hearing is a locomotive somewhere on the other side. Sounds like it's trying to come to a stop. Oh, I see, it's on this side, but I just can't see it. It's right down there. Better shot of it down there. You can see it snaking its way along up there. Pretty good timing, I'd say. Sure was awesome to hear all that rumbling and not see it from where I was. These are the old locks that are no longer used, just north of the bridge, or east of the bridge there. Pretty windy today. And then here's the north side of the Columbia River. Locks are back that way. And you can see there's a stern wheeler. It'd be fun to take that tour, but no big deal. And now down to Bonneville Dam. Transportation in the Columbia Gorge. Cascades, canal, and locks. Enjoy the construction. In 1896 it opened. Which is just east of Bonneville Dam and just west of the locks. Going over a little drawbridge here. Some locks over there. The dam is over there. Again. So I don't know if it clipped the last bit that I did or not, but I can't stop now and play with it. It seems to know right when you can't do anything about it. It's the Cascade locks again. Cecilio Canal. the river looked like before the dam was built. Back in 1935 they were doing this. Construction began in 1933.
Together, they scooped 4 million yards out of the rock-spread depths of Cascade Rapids. At his foot, they threw up a 1 million yard failure of dungeons. Mixed and four. Day and night, sand and gravel and cement were merged in the massive structure rising in the river Cascade. As the powerhouse takes shape on the drawing board, the very force that for years blocked the river now makes possible a new northwest passage. Putting the Columbia River to work was a Herculean task. It crossed the state line and touched the lives of millions of people. Not for power alone was the Columbia being honored, but for all its values. For navigation, for protection of fish life, for hydroelectric energy, and in its upper reaches for flood control and reclamation. Today, Bonneville Dam stands complete. Just as the Nile is the lifeblood of the historic landed range, so this river of the West is the key to the future of the Oregon country. Since the carriers of the Hudson Bay Company threaded their course upstream 1,000 miles, the Columbia has been the artery of the Northwest. Bonneville Dam, a symbol of power and passage, opens up a region that has more than 13% of the nation's area, but less than 3% of its people. Its mighty piers have halted the castles of the Columbia and pushed its water back to Celilo, 187 miles from the Pacific. So the old Oregon Trail becomes the Northwest Passage to America's last frontier, and Bonneville the entrance to a promised land.
Here's President Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicating the dam on September 28, 1937. There's a bunch of them.
Từ nãy giờ thấy nó chạy lên rồi. Đá thì nó đi theo mùa.
The cross section of the powerhouse. I don't know if they have a happy section or not. Water comes this way, spins the turbine, generates electricity at the generator there, and it continues out that way. And there's the fish way. And that viewing area was underneath somewhere, right around here. Probably right under there. Spillway. And more of the fish ladder. From the spillway dam. We have the powerhouse up here. Welcome to the first federal powerhouse on the Columbia River. Some water going around there at the spillway area. Here's a view further downstream. In fact, you can see another train going by there. And also, you can see some of the majesty of the cliffs and mountains nearby. As well as some of these big transmission lines going along here. See him going over there to the Washington side, carrying the power. Now here's another view. See, they got lots of transformers, probably a lot of step-down transformers, since I'm sure the voltage is pretty high coming out of the dam. See the size of those insulators there. And there's the powerhouse back there, between those trees. There's the Washington side. Here's a view looking down river. Goes way down that way to let me see ocean. Here we are going back out across part of the dam that contains the #1, the first built powerhouse. All the big turbines are right in there. And of course, here's looking downriver. Pretty impressive place. Well worth touring. Across another little drawbridge here. Another one of the locks. I think I showed this on the way in. Oh. Automatic gate, pull forward slowly. Okay. Thought maybe I'd have to spend the night here. Still further downstream. And you can see that paddle wheeler backing its way up. I don't know if I can get that in the sunlight or not. Let's try. There's a downriver shot. That little riverboat. And that's about it. Almost forgot the fish hatchery. One of the oldest ones in the state, operating since 1909. And there's all kinds of little areas where they hatch the fish and whatnot. Salmon rearing ponds. Okay, I'll bite. No pun intended. Don't see anything down in there. Interesting, whatever it is. Apparently it's not in use right now. The adult holding pond down there. The ponds below are used to collect returning adult Chinook and coho salmon. Each year about 21.5 million fall Chinook and 4 million coho fingerlings are released into Tanner Creek, the stream in front of you journeying to the sea. They mature in 1.5 to 4.5 years, and the survivors return here. Each fall, hundreds of Chinook and coho salmon move up the creek and into the lower holding ponds, where they are sorted by species and directed into the upper large holding ponds. Eggs from these fish produce the fingerlings for the rearing program. Spawning operations can be viewed from within the building on your left from September through November. And out here, that's what they're talking about. can see there's little spillway type things there to transfer the fish on down. Rearing cycle. I'm not going to read all that stuff. This is just an overview. This is how they process the eggs. It takes them 50 days at 50 degrees for those fish to hatch. They're in little sacks right now. There's the little fish. And then over here, wild fish management. Not going to read all this again, just kind of getting the gist of it here. And back here is where they process a lot of these eggs and little fish and so forth. Very interesting. Fish through there. I don't know what kind of fish they are, but you can see there's an awful lot of them. They're pretty big too. See those little guys down there, just barely scooting around. Too many reflections, I think. There's a bunch over there, just little guys. This is the trout and salmon spawning area. I think you can see a bunch down there. There's some more over there. You can see they like to congregate in little sections near the wall and then dart out. This is the Oregon side of the gorge. As we motor along, you can see how beautiful this is. Falls. I haven't seen that in years. Haven't seen any of this in years. And this is Portland. Coming up to the downtown area, I think, pretty soon here. back at Donald and June's place. Been here 2 days now. Would have done something yesterday, but the batteries went down. And I thought for the fun of it, I would do a little video on one of these photo murals that Donald and June have. I'll get down here and do the macro lens. Okay, we're doing it right this time. And this shot was when, in 1972, Donald?
Yes, at Woodburn, at Velma and Harry. This is Velma here and Harry.
Okay.
And the 5 girls and myself.
Okay. And then, that's a good shot, gosh. And then we have, moving over here, you and...
that would be Don on board the USS Paiute at Norfolk, Virginia. That would be in 1948, probably, or 49.
Okay.
This is a picture when I was an ensign. That was taken probably in Los Angeles in, that'd been 44, maybe 45.
Okay. And then...
Over here it's Margaret and myself from about 1918.
Golly.
On the back porch steps at Frazee, Minnesota.
Okay. And then
that's myself and June. That was taken in 1951, and I just came back from Greenland, and I have a beard there, although you can't see it.
yeah, you can a little bit there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then down here.
Down here, was me and Rockefeller Center, New York City. That would have been in the summer of '51.
Okay. And then here, wait a minute, let me get it to focus here.
June and
Boy, this thing is
Linda.
tough.
That's taken aboard the USS Paiute in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
And there's Linda and myself. That's taken in probably in Key West, Florida, in 1952, probably.
Okay. Another 1917 one here.
Yeah, that's myself and Margaret, 1917.
Golly. And then over here.
And then over here is our 4 grandchildren. The first one on the left is Autumn. And then there's Brian, and he's holding probably Austin. And then over on the right is Melissa.
Huh. Okay. Then coming down here.
That was taken at Key West, Florida. That's June and Linda.
Okay. And then over
Down
here.
here, that's just myself and June taken aboard the USS LSM 547.
And what rank were you there?
That would have been in 1947, probably.
Okay.
And
Okay.
next one is myself when I was about 9 years old. That was in the wintertime in our backyard at Frazee, Minnesota.
Okay. And let's see, here's one,
There's
1942.
one of myself taken on when I was on board the USS Nashville. We were up in the Aleutian Islands in the summer and fall of 1942.
And you were bosun mates first class there.
Yeah.
And here.
Here we're aboard the USS LSM 227, and that's a little dog. We called him Sully.
And what rank were you here?
I was an ensign there.
Okay. And then moving down here.
That's Mother and myself. That's taken in Green Cove Springs, Florida, and that was been in 1948.
Okay.
And that's June and myself at our 25th wedding anniversary party at some friends in Corvallis, Oregon.
Okay.
And that's Don and myself, taken probably in 48.
Okay. 1938.
And there's I am, and this is Seaman First Class. I was duty out in the Asiatic Station. This was at Subic Bay at the rifle range,
Okay.
the Philippines.
Last one.
And that's June and myself taking aboard the LSM 547. That was probably in 1947.
Is that one you were captain of?
Yeah.
Neat. Kitchen and the living room. And you can see all the kids' heights are recorded on a strip of paper on the door jamb here. And this is the strange tale of Melissa Zelensky's height anatomy, okay? And you can see that in April of 92, she was this tall, and something must have shocked her or intimidated her or something, because she shrunk on down to there in July of 92, but apparently she sprung back because she's up to there on the 18th. The main road in town is where is the Philomath Food and Baby Bank, where Donald and June donate their spare time. They've always been involved in Philomath's community involvements. And you can see there's the trailer they have for the food bank. And then over here is the baby bank. And you should hear some of the interesting tales June has to tell about the kind of people that come in here. How they expect a lot for nothing. Okay, and on we go. And here we have the proprietor, chief cook and bottle washer, June Anderson.
And this is all the stuff that came in today.
Really? Huh. And it's just donated from
all different people. That all that stuff came in today.
Huh. Wow.
Plus this stroller over here.
Huh. And
this is tops and pants sorted according to size.
uh-huh. Por favor, no se sirvan ustedes tomato, potato, potato, tomato, banana, which means
please do not help yourself.
so that poor Aunt June has to refold everything again. Oh gosh. Does this little guy here mean that this is a Mickey Mouse operation?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. Very neat. Very neat. So then, the double wide trailer was just everything was just donated then?
Well, everything that's in here has been donated. The trailer was, the double wide mobile home was donated by two wealthy lumbermen who are brothers.
Uh-huh.
And they own a lot of forest land throughout this area.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And they're people by the name of Starker.
Uh-huh. Well, that's neat.
And this is my play area over here.
For the kids to be occupied while Mom's figuring out what she needs then. Neat.
Kitchen, mess.
Neat.
Dollar.
In this closet,
Everything
yeah.
Is quilts that ladies make, and in this side is crib sheets and receiving blankets.
Neat.
And that is, we've got the bathtub full.
And then all kinds of stuff back here too. Little stuffed animals for the kids. Oh, there's a cute little bear. Similar to the one Phyllis made me when I was a kid. It looks very similar to it. Uh-huh. How neat. Here's some of the food stuff. Most of the food is next door.
Well,
oh, there's a neat looking little montage of everybody. Golly. That looks like it was from the 75th anniversary.
No.
It wasn't?
This was, this canopy was used for my open house. And they carried it across from the people that own the rug place over across the highway. And they carried it across the highway.
Huh.
And then we had it underneath here. And then these are some of the children that I had. A friend of mine put this all together. This is when they were building the ramp.
Uh-huh.
And
See if I can focus on some of that.
this.
That's a little too close. That's all right. Okay. Neat.
Okay, these are
Okay. All of these trees.
trees starting along here, going back in here.
Yeah.
Trees here,
Yeah.
all the way along.
Yeah.
Donald put them all in.
Huh.
And they were donated by a company up in Hillsborough.
Okay, and also these flowers too. All of these nice flowers here. Oh, nice. And there's the main road right out there. Yeah.
Trees go all the way down there.
Huh. All those trees Donald planted.
And all these rodents he planted.
Oh, nice. Back on Woods Creek Road. I know I've already got this, but it's so pretty. I had to get it again. Somebody along here's got a little Toyota Corona, just like the one I used to have. I don't know where it is. It's right along here. Every time I see it, there it is. You see that? Little Toyota Corona. Reminds me of the days I had with that car. Now this bridge is gone. You can see what they've done here. There's a big pipe down there. They've just paved right over it. The creek runs through the pipe down there. I don't know if you can see it, but that was my landmark for when I knew I was getting close to Uncle Donald's place, which of course is right down here. And this has got to be one of the most peaceful places there is. You can see their swing there. To just sit and read a magazine or a book, whatever. Like right here. See, they had a little campfire there. They just sit right here. Listen to that creek and do some reading. Can you hear the crickets out? It was a bit misty yesterday and there were crickets out. Light rain brought them out. Well, getting a reasonably early start out of Donald's here. And next stop is Crater Lake, I hope. Got all these logging trucks here. A lot of them. Although the industry's going down quite a bit because of the spotted owl thing. This is downtown Corvallis. Notice this is a different day than yesterday. Look at that sign bump right there. Whenever Oregon and Washington do construction, they put a sign out there that lets you know. Now, if this were Canoga Park, you'd have to have a sign that said bump every 30 feet because of the way the streets are there. Anyway, this is the next day because I started out yesterday and was just feeling so tired when I got down the road. I figured I'd go back and spend another night there. And I'm glad I did. The thing is, we may have this cloud cover might be in the Crater Lake area. But either way, I got a good early start, so see how it goes. And all the rest areas have coffee and snacks. See right there? It's part of Oregon's arrangement. There's volunteers from different organizations. And stopped at one in Washington, and the cookies were so good I had to stick around for a little while. It's part of the Willamette River down there. We're on the Willamette Highway. Well, I don't know what lake it is, but it sure looks nice, even in the mist here. A little bit on both sides of us here. Sign here, Lowell Fall Creek Dam. Shot of a train going by and more of the lake. It's a very pretty area through here. That's either Mount Thielsen or Crater Lake in the distance, I don't know which. Making pretty good time though. First I'll give you the overview and then the close-up. Crater Lake's got to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen, and it's definitely got the bluest water I've ever seen. I'm out here on like a ledge. That's Wizard Island. You can see there's some snow up there still. Still quite a ways up from the rim here. Quite a drop down there. Now there's where I was standing when I shot this last video here, the panoramic one. You can see you wouldn't want to lose your footing. It's a rather scenic drop to the bottom. Now there's Crater Lake Lodge, which is blocked off right now. They condemned it. The gal at the visitor center said they'd reopen it in '95. We stayed there in 1969, and it was all fogged in and we couldn't see a thing. But I remember it vividly. You can see they're rebuilding it there. And we were this close to the view. This will give you an idea of just how vast Crater Lake is. That's Wizard Island over there, where I did the last segment. You can see it. And you can see there's quite a bit here. Also, look how clear the water is. There's two boats down there, and it looks like they're in mid-air. Now this is called Cloud Cap Viewpoint. And from up here you can see quite a ways. There's a lake down there. This is on the back side of Crater Lake. And you can see it's quite a view from up here. And we still have higher points than Crater Lake with snow on them up there. I don't know if you could hear when that car went by. This is Upper Klamath Lake. Next stop is Klamath Falls. You can see it's a good sized lake. Not going to pan the whole thing here at close-up. This is Sunset at Klamath. You can see that train's moving along pretty good. About 65. Well, here's where I'm going to spend the night. Another little campground, and this one has electricity and water like the one in Canada did. Nice little park. People camp in tents and everything. Next stop is Quincy. I spoke to Norm. He'll be expecting me. I'm on my way south down to Quincy. And there is no actual Klamath Falls per se. There's like a little dam back there, but it's not really worth going to. That's Pelican Marina over there. This is Upper Klamath Lake. And I look on the map, there is no Lower Klamath Lake. It's some Indian name. I don't remember what it was. That's about it for this area. Well, welcome to California. I'm sure they'll have a fruit inspection here. I sure have covered a lot of territory. I'm back in my own state finally. Sure has been a fun trip so far. Let's see what it says down there. Weed 53 miles. Okay. Pretty land out here. See Mount Shasta in the distance. Closer. There's Shasta Lake out that way. View of it up here a little better. I'm just going to guess and point the camera out there. And let's see, over on this side, I get a little better view. Lake. Of course, this is only part of it. This is the first day of the opening of a new museum, so they have Indian dances and things. Ought to look neat.
You broke them.
So they're going to go 10 rounds and make her dance. 10 push-ups. 40 laps. Okay.
museum itself.
And reaches an impressive 2,000 feet above its surrounding terrain. Other good examples of dome volcanoes in the park include the deeply glaciated Redding Peak, nearly 250,000 years old, and the comparatively youthful unglaciated Chaos Crags, which is about 1,000 years old. A second type of volcano, the composite volcano, is formed by alternating layers of lava and pyroclastic tephra. Composite volcanoes can reach massive sizes, as high as 10,000 feet, with a diameter of more than 20 miles. In ancient times, Mount Tehama, which dominated the area, was an excellent example of a composite volcano. But today, Mount Tehama is deeply eroded. The shield is another type of volcano. Shield volcanoes are formed by a number of lava flows erupting from a central vent. The hot lava runs easily, often reaching out many miles from the point where it erupted. Prospect Peak and Sifford Mountain are examples of typical shield volcanoes. Often, multiple lava flows will overlap to form huge lava plains. In Lassen Park, the Central Plateau is an area formed by lava flows from Hat Mountain, Fairfield Peak, and Crater Butte. The fourth type of volcano is called tephra cone, or more commonly, a cinder cone. Cinder cone volcanoes are made of pyroclastic rocks and cinder which pile up around a vent. They are the most common type of volcano in the world. They're fairly small and rarely higher than 1,000 feet. In Lassen Park, the peak known as Cinder Cone is a good example of this volcano type. Notice it's a crater within a crater. Lava flows which emerged from the base of Cinder Cone cooled and hardened to form the fantastic lava beds. While some of the beds were still hot, pyroclastic material exploded from the cone and fell onto the hot lava flow. These hot cinders oxidized to create the vivid hues we see in the painted dunes. The sequence of sometimes violent eruptions which were to continue through 1917. Volcanic eruptions continued off and on for about a year, when on May 19, 1915, a major eruption occurred, producing tons of lava that spilled down the west and northeast sides of the peak. 3 days later, a violent blast was followed by a glowing avalanche, known as a nuée ardente. Ash and rock debris flowed at high speed, leveling trees and creating what is now called the devastated area. A mushroom cloud of ash rose to more than 25,000 feet and could be seen throughout Northern California, dropping ash as far east as Reno, Nevada. In all, during the 3 most active years from 1914 to 1917, almost 400 eruptions which changed the landscape of areas near the peak.
There. This is all volcanic, and you can see some of it here. The camcorder is doing very weird things. I'm lucky I'm even getting this. And Lassen's